What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another What's Cooking. Today we got something a little bit different for you. We're out here at the SCHEELS Barbecue University, where our associates are behind me with some of the best names in the industry, learning how to smoke some brisket. They are going to learn everything from how to trim, season, wrap, choose their fuel source. They're learning on Kamado Joe's, Green Eggs, Pit Bosses, Traeger, you name it. These guys are going behind me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow along, talk to some of the best names in the industry, and let you know their secrets, how they wrap, how they season, how they trim. So follow along and learn everything you need to know about brisket.
Hey everybody, it's Harry Sue from Slap Your Daddy Barbecue.
Chris Marks, Three Little Pigs.
Hi, I'm Megan Day from Burnt Finger Barbecue.
I'm Kelly Wirtz, Four Legs Up Barbecue.
Stu, King of the Barbecue, Big Green Egg.
Grilling Gary.
My name's Heath Rouse of Heath Rouse Barbecue.
I'm CJ of Mom and Papa Joe's Barbecue.
I'm Chad Ward, Director of Barbecue Marketing at Traeger Grills and owner of Whiskey Bent Barbecue.
My name is Mitch Benjamin. I'm the founder of Meat Mitch Barbecue.
When we trim a brisket, we want to optimize either for yield, if you're cooking it for a backyard and family, or we are optimizing it for the best possible look and cut and slice.
Well, first of all, understand I'm a Midwest guy, so I actually trim down, I knock a brisket down. I don't take a lot of the fat off. I clean the back end and I leave about a 1/4 inch of fat on the back side. I do remove the knot, but I do a little bit different. I do a traditional burnt end. So I will open the point in the flat. I separate the two to open them up, and we consider that the Midwest style brisket.
If we're trimming, we're going to leave on the surface fat that you're going to want to eat when you're done. Leave all that surface fat on there and then scrape it all off when we're done cooking before we serve it. We scraped all the smoke, the seasoning, and everything else off of it.
You know, the biggest thing when you trim a brisket is honestly the feel of it. You want to make sure you've got, when you pick it up, grab it about halfway, and you want it to be a little limber because you know that brisket's already, the fibers and the muscle, it feels relaxed. It's not had a tough life. And you want a good thick flat, as thick as you can get it, not really thin on the sides. And you want to look for marbling on the top of the brisket. Those are 3 key things that you need to take away from picking out a good brisket to cook.
So when it comes to trimming brisket, the one thing I'm looking for is you got to remember that fat on top. If you don't trim it off, once that gets hot, that oil is going to make all your rubs slide off. So I like to have a nice top trim on my brisket, and then I like to trim between the point and the flat to where it sits even.
Seasoning a brisket is can be done in a simple salt and pepper if you're doing it for family. But if you're competing, we have to up our game, and you want to always use a competition rub that has more complexity and depth in the flavor.
Well, I season the brisket. The first thing is I put a base down. I have my crust. I'm a natural barbecue purist. So what I want to do is I want a beautiful crust for that brisket. So I use a Three Little Pigs mustard sauce base. Then I come back with the Texas beef rub. Then I come back with a Memphis rub. So I use 3 different types of condiments to really build a great crust.
I season my brisket with our blend of spices that have been proven on the competition trail. Smoky Kansas City. It's got garlic, onion, pepper, has some celery seed, which is a very typical spice in the Kansas City barbecue. And I'll put a little bit of dash of a little bit of bacon seasoning that gives it that great umami flavor at the end.
You know, you can either go very simple with salt and pepper, or me, I have my own line of products, so I use my garlic jalapeno rub as a base. It's an AP with salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, a little bit of jalapeno powder, and a few other things. And then I come back with my beef rub. It's got a little bit of cayenne and red pepper, black pepper, salt, a tad bit of sugar, not much at all. And so everything works really well together to create a really good barbecue.
I'm a fan of layering, meaning I'm going to use sometimes 3 different seasoning rubs. Put them on one at a time, give them a couple of 5 minutes in between to just sweat, become one with the meat before I add a second or a third.
Everything in cooking barbecue is a 3-hour argument and Jerry Springer fist fight, and that goes the same for wrapping. Some folks like to wrap in butcher paper, some folks like to wrap in foil. I always tell folks, wrap it both ways, try and find your method and pick the one you like.
Well, actually, I use butcher paper, and the one thing I'm unique from everybody is I pretty much cook almost to the time. Pretty much wrap to hold and to rest. So I'm not wrapping really during the cooking cycle.
You know, I do wrap, and we use foil. That's the way we do it and have done it for over a decade.
Competition-wise, it's usually foil, and if I'm just doing a backyard cook, we use the pink butcher paper.
I'm a foil guy. I love butcher paper, but foil seems like to me it gets you out of that clutch a little bit quicker.
For competitions, I wrap in foil. At home, I love butcher paper. I love the texture it creates.
All right, well, first off, I'm not wearing any skinny jeans, so I'm not a paper wrapper. That's for the trendy guys. I'm a foil guy because I believe when you're wrapping a brisket, you've got the color that you want, all you're wanting to do is finish it.
I think the secret about my brisket is that I really cook to the heavy crust. I like a lot of crusting. That crusting locks a lot of that moisture in. So unlike a lot of the others to where you don't have that really true pit flavor, I cook to that real pit flavor of a brisket.
The secret for our lovely, delicious brisket is when we're trimming off the fat, I save that back, add it to the top shelf, and let it rain down on that meat as it cooks.
You cook it right. Literally. You get the right texture, everything else falls into place.
Flavor. The injection that we use on our brisket, I made sure that the flavors that you're going to eat off of that brisket is something reflection of meat, if that makes sense.
I'm going to have to whisper that one, so I'm not sure you're going to be able to hear it.
Oh, the secret of my brisket that separates it from everyone else, I just love. Just having that feel, knowing when that brisket's right.
Obviously my seasoning, right? So I sell seasoning. So steer seasoning for me, you know, you get the peppers and the salts and the bursts of cayenne and things of that nature that I think really help explode the meat. And for me, that's the seasoning. We've been very successful with that.
I'm cooking on, I'm cooking on two separate smokers grills today. I'm cooking on the green egg. So I love to cook on the green egg brisket because I can cook the brisket hot and fast. I'm also cooking on the pellet grill. I'm using the Traeger Timberline. So I'm using that as more of a traditional low and slow smoker. So I'm traditionally smoking anywhere about 225 to 275 on that unit.
Today I'm cooking on a Pit Boss Sportsman, and it's pellet, and I love pellet because it's a consistent cook. You're going to get some great smoke flavor, but you can kind of set it, watch your temperatures, go to bed for a little bit, come back, and your meat's ready to go.
So the big green egg is what we're cooking on, and the reason it makes a difference is ease of use, flavor, and moisture content.
So the grill that we're cooking on is a Kamado style grill. It holds the temperature very well. So what I think that a brisket needs is very consistent temperatures.
I'm cooking on a Traeger Ironwood 885, and I can tell you why it makes a difference. Last night, all the guys needed sleep, so we set up the Wi-Fi on the grill here at the hotel. We put that brisket on low and slow. It run all night long. It was about 155 degrees. We come out this morning and met at 6 a.m. I showed them how to wrap it up, and so it worked out really good.
We like to cook with charcoal, and today we're using a special charcoal all the way from Paraguay. It's Paraguayan axewood blended into charcoal made by Jealous Devil.
Okay, when I cook a brisket, I look for a traditional Midwest type. I like a pecan and I like a cherry hit to it. So I'm using the pecan and cherry woods. Gives me more of a sweet flavor versus a more down south flavor where you're getting a hickory or mesquite. Has a tendency to be a little bit over bitter. I like that traditional, softer smoke flavor.
Today I'm using a pecan pellet. I love that flavor. It's just kind of mild. I've laced it with a little bit of apple as well because I do want a little sweetness to that.
We're using a competition blend, which is hickory, maple, and cherry already blended. So it's kind of got the best of both worlds. It's got a little bit of that sweet with the cherry, a little bite with the hickory. The maple doesn't give you a lot of taste, so it lets that hickory really come through with it.
The fuel we're using is the big green egg lump charcoal, 2 parts fruit wood to 1 part pecan. And I always tell people, in my humble opinion, the key to smoking is accent enhance, never overwhelm.
The wood-fired flavor that I'm looking for is going to come from a combination of pecan and oak. Gives me that real earthy, nutty flavor.
So our fuel for this cook today is wood pellets, and we're using hickory. I always feel like hickory is a great pellet or wood flavor for brisket, any kind of beef.
I don't know if there's a right or a wrong answer to this, personal choice.
Oh, I knew you were going to ask this.
Fat side up or fat side down, that's like a religious question. There's a lot of people that get emotional about it, but to me, I like fat side down.
I cook fat side down because I'm cooking to the heat.
Fat side down, always opposite from where the heat's coming from.
Fat side down.
There is no wrong answer on that one. That is pure personal preference. Me personally, I cook fat cap down.
I've always been a fat down type of guy, and I have no reason to change anytime soon.
I'm traditionally fat side up, but I've learned through hanging out with all these people that the science, if there's science, says that fat side down is the way to go.
Wow, that's some pretty incredible stuff. And I know you didn't get the chance to taste anything, but I sure did, and I don't think a single team here didn't knock it out of the park. And the biggest takeaway for me, and hopefully for you, is honestly, there's no wrong way to do a brisket. So, what are you? Are you foil? Are you paper? Are you Traeger? Are you green egg? Let us know in the comments below. And I know this video was a little bit different for What's Cooking, but if there's a recipe you'd love to see, please drop that in the comment section below, and we'll be releasing videos every single week. So come on back. But until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.